I'm so excited to start today off by bringing onto the stage Concordia co-founder and chairman of the board, Nicholas Logothetis, to get us going. Nick, over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone from Washington, D.C. It's a great honor to be here to just say a very few words about the pride that we feel in this initiative on Africa that Concordia is hosting, albeit virtually. Hopefully next year we can be in person. But we feel it's a very important aspect of Concordia's growth around the world. Africa is a very important part of that plan, and we couldn't be more thrilled to be here. And we thank you all for joining us. And just to say a special thanks to our very hardworking team members at Concordia who have done a fantastic job putting on this digital summit. We couldn't be happier and more proud of what they have done. And if at any point we can help, we can provide information about Concordia or the work that we're doing or our partners are doing, we're here, and we welcome any input, any discussions, any ideas, any criticisms, any compliments for that matter, going forward. So with that being said, it is my honor to briefly introduce the Prime Minister of Rwanda, Dr. Édouard Ngirente, who is here to deliver a keynote speech on some of the tremendous progress that Rwanda has seen over the past couple of years and give his ideas for the future. We're very honored that he is joining us today. He became the Prime Minister of Rwanda in 2017, and before that was at the World Bank, and has done tremendous work for his country and will continue to do so in the future. So without further ado, the Prime Minister of Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nicholas, co-founder and chairman of the board of Concordia, Concordia's Leadership Council, Concordia members, distinguished participants. It is a pleasure to welcome you to this second day of 2020 Concordia Africa Initiative. I would like to extend my appreciation to the Concordia team for partnering with Rwanda through Rwanda Development Board in organizing this important event. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the global economy has been deep. No region or sector has been spared the effects of the pandemic. Rwanda, like the rest of the world, was negatively impacted by this global crisis. COVID-19 came at a time when Rwanda was sustaining a high economic growth rate. Rwanda's GDP increased by 9.4% in 2019. This is one of the highest growth rates, not just on the continent, but also globally. Despite the setback, we expect with confidence the economy will bounce back. Distinguished guests, what we have learned from this crisis is that it is important for countries like Rwanda to structure our recovery agenda around three key pillars of resilience, partnership, and innovation. In terms of promoting economic resilience, our primary objective is to attract more investment in the manufacturing sector. These investments not only aim at producing products that are most needed in our domestic market, but also for export in order to reduce our existing trade deficit. With the pandemic, most national borders have been closed and the critical global supply chain disrupted. However, this presented an unseen opportunity for Rwanda. We have realized that many of the imported products, such as personal protective equipment, could actually be made in Rwanda. This was done by repurposing existing manufacturing facilities toward COVID-related products. We were able to produce different types of masks, face shields, as well as hand sanitizers. This clearly revealed the huge untapped opportunity in our domestic manufacturing. It has also paved the way to develop targeted strategic interventions. These have been key in producing a quality made in Rwanda products for both the domestic and export markets. This will no doubt lay the foundations for a stronger and more resilient development model. On partnerships, during COVID-19 crisis, the government of Rwanda was able to quickly mobilize the population for a decisive and effective public health response. Citizens adhered to the health and safety measures. This was mostly due to an existing strong social trust between the government and the citizens. This trust has been built over time with a governance model under the leadership of His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, that put emphasis on accountability, inclusiveness, and result-based performance. In the fight against the pandemic, we have also greatly benefited from strong global partnerships, such as from international organizations and also from different friends of Rwanda. Through these partnerships, much needed resources were provided to fight the pandemic, support the private sector, and fund much needed growth to lift the country out of the economic recession. The private sector has been a key partner in the response to the pandemic, as well as in charting the path toward the recovery. We have indeed experienced the critical importance of building a conducive business environment. This was evident, especially with business-friendly and efficient regulations and institutions. In this regard, Rwanda was able to rapidly adapt to the new norm and continue to serve the needs of the business. To give an example, the investment made in automating most government services resulted in minimal disruptions for businesses seeking government services during the pandemic. The government also mobilized resources toward an economic recovery plan. This plan includes a recovery fund which will lessen the negative impact on businesses, enabling them to preserve jobs, drive economic recovery. Building strong institutions, maintaining strong partnerships between the government and the private sector, as well as continuously enhancing business environments, will remain a key priority for the government. This will be done as we focus on attracting private investments to drive growth and economic resilience. Distinguished guests, there are several opportunities to invest in Rwanda across all sectors, from infrastructure, agriculture, ICT to finance, just to name a few. In this regard, conducive conditions were set to facilitate those who are interested to invest in Rwanda. As far as innovation is concerned, prior to the pandemic, Rwanda was already positioning itself at the leading innovation, as the leading innovation and technology hub in the region. Therefore, the pandemic has further pushed us to rapidly adapt and fast-track our plans to become a leading innovation hub in the region. We have been able to leverage on several existing technologies and rapidly scale them up. As a result, we have seen a rapid increase in innovative technologies such as in e-commerce, cashless payment solutions, digital health, drones, technology, and robotics. Distinguished guests, as I conclude, allow me to thank the organizing team of this year's Concordia Africa initiative. As you are aware, it was supposed to take place in Rwanda, but due to the pandemic, it went virtual. However, I strongly believe that this is the time for African countries to come together to lead discussions and initiatives such as this that boost economic transformation and development. It is my hope that we make the most out of this discussion in order to continue advancing partnership-driven solutions to the continent's challenges. Once again, I thank you so much for having chosen Rwanda to co-host this year's summit. I look forward to welcoming you when you visit Rwanda soon. Thank you so much.